So I just
Sure.
want to welcome our presenter and also our students to our very first virtual graduate and professional schools expo. My name is Charmaine Roderick. I'm the Career Resource Advisor at Careerspace. I just want to put in a plug for Careerspace. We do offer virtual appointments, workshops, online resources, and opportunities like this to connect with employers and recruiters. All our services are free for Trent students and also for Trent alumni. So I suggest you can look at our website, which is trentu.ca/career space, to book an appointment or check out some of our resources. Um, so I'm really thrilled to have Hilla here today to talk about University of British Columbia's program, Okanagan Social Work. Um, so after Hilla presents, we'll have a few minutes for questions. Please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A feature, and then after Hilla's presentation, we'll address those questions. Um, just wanting to let you know, we are recording this session. It will be on our CareerSpace YouTube channel. You know, give us a few days to do some editing and it'll be there. So if you know of any of your friends or classmates who, you know, say, oh, I missed that, I really wanted to go and see that presentation, let them know that it will be on the website, on our YouTube channel, CareerSpace YouTube channel. So I won't take up any more time. Hilla's got some very good information to present to us. So take it away, Hilla.
Okay, thank you very much. I am going to share my PowerPoint. Can you see that?
Yes, great.
Okay, now let me just make sure it is working for me to switch the slides. There you go, yes. So welcome. I'm here to talk about the Masters of Social Work program at UBC Okanagan campus. My name is Hila Shlomi. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am the MSW Graduate Program Coordinator. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that UBC Okanagan campus is a guest on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Silex people. I would also like to make a note that the Okanagan campus of UBC is located in the beautiful city of Kelowna, BC. And the reason I say it is because many may know that UBC has two campuses. There is the Vancouver campus and the Okanagan campus. And I've heard that Trent University is located in a region that is quite similar in nature to Kelowna and the Okanagan campus. So if you like nature and if you like the area where Trent is located, you may really like it here too. So I would like to start by talking a little bit broadly around social work and why one would want to get into the social work profession. And the biggest thing that comes to mind is that people that apply to a program and people in the social work profession typically have this personal characteristics of wanting to make a positive difference in other people's lives or positive difference in this world in more systemic general way. So that's the main thing, that if you kind of feel like you have this personal drive, an MSW may be the thing for you. The next thing that is important to think about is that an MSW degree really opens a wide and diverse range of career path for you. So people with MSW work in a variety of locations and settings, for example, non-for-profit organizations, private practice, as well as a wide variety of populations in terms of age and various needs of populations. So really diverse opportunities are out there for people with MSW degrees. Thirdly, social work is among the few professions with a very good job security. There's two main reasons for that. First, we cannot be replaced, by computers. And secondly, and unfortunately, the demand for social work will never go away. So these are really good, two good reasons why the job security of any social worker is quite strong. field education is always a component of social work education. We refer to it as practicum in our program, and it really is seen across Canada in any school of social work as a critical and distinctive aspect of social work education. And it's where students get a chance to integrate or to practice and apply the knowledge, the values, and the skills they learn in courses into practice with clients in real agencies in the communities. The other benefit of practicum is that it really gives students the opportunity to develop community connections and develop their network, professional network, of course. So while you complete your practicum in an agency in Kelowna, for example, you learn about the other community resources in Kelowna, you learn about the agency you work with, and really start to develop those professional relationships throughout your practicum. And the last point is the fact that each practicum, and again, that's across Canada, that's an accreditation requirement, each practicum is a minimum of 450 hours. So it really is an opportunity to delve down into the details of the agency and have clients and work with clients directly. So it's a significant amount of time that you spend in the agency. Moving a little bit into our program here at UBC Okanagan, we have two tracks. One track is called the Foundational 2-year track, and that's for applicants with any undergraduate degree. And then we have an Advanced 1-year track, and that's for applicants with a BSW degree. And I'll speak a little bit more about the admission requirements and how they change between the two. Both tracks are considered full-time continuous programs, so you're expected to be registered into courses throughout the full year or the 2-year of your program. And then each one has a field education component once a year. So if you're in a 2-year program, you have 2 different practicums. And if you're in a 1-year program, you complete 1 full practicum. And the practicums could be local. So that's within the Okanagan Valley, typically within 125 kilometers from campus. But they can also be distance, and that's anywhere within Canada. So you have the option, especially in the 2nd year or the advanced track, the 1-year advanced track, you have the option to choose whether you want to do your practicum in the community where you hope to move into and practice long-term. That's a really unique opportunity. A few of the highlights about our program that I would like you to know about. First, we just recently received the maximal amount of reaccreditation, which is 8 years, from our accreditor body, which is the Canadian Association for Social Work Education. So that really speaks highly on the quality of education that we provide. Secondly, our program is clinically oriented. And what that means is that we focus our content in courses on direct practice with clients. And I would like to encourage you to review the link that is on the slide to learn more about how we define clinical social work and how it comes into life in our courses. And just to note, there's only 5 programs in Canada that are defined as clinically oriented as ours. Thirdly, we have our very own social work clinic. So the clinic is located on campus. We admit students a small number of students into the clinic every year. But every student who has an interest in working in the social work clinic can indicate that in their application into field education, and you have an equal chance to get in depending on your previous experience with clinical work. Particularly, social work clinic focuses on delivering mental health services to children, youth, and their families. So it's, again, very unique. You can read a little bit more about that on our website. It's a unique opportunity that we have to offer to our students. Next, I want to say that our faculty is small but really diverse. We only have 10 to 11 full-time faculty, but our faculty really represent a diverse groups from ethnic background to age and how much experience they have in the field. And our faculty have deep expertise and research expertise in 4 main domains: child youth mental health, child welfare, homelessness, and disabilities. So if any of these areas are areas that you would like to learn more about, we may be the place for you. I want to touch a little bit on thesis and research opportunities, kind of tying into what I mentioned earlier in terms of our research domains and expertise. Some people are interested in completing a full thesis with a program. It's not the majority. Majority of students that apply to us, or applicants, excuse me, that apply to us are interested in the course-based option of the program, but we do offer a thesis-based option as well. Applicants don't need to declare or decide on whether they want the course-based or the thesis-based upfront. It's something that you can decide on at the beginning of the program within the 2-year program. If you come into the advanced program, you probably want to make that decision early on. And the reason for that is that the curriculum of the advanced track and the second year of the 2-year track would look different. You're required to complete different courses if you are in the thesis option. The main thing is that at the end of the day, you will complete the same amount of credits, regardless of whether you're doing a thesis or a course-based option of the program. And the field education component is exactly the same, regardless of thesis or course-based option. The one thing that I always like to remind people that are interested in a thesis is that you will have to extend your program to complete a thesis. So typically a thesis will add another year to your program. So if, for example, you are admitted into the 2-year foundational track, it will take you most likely about 3 years to complete the 2-year program if you do a thesis. And outside of completing a full thesis, as I mentioned, we have faculty with strong expertise in 4 different domains, and often there are a lot of research assistant opportunities for employment or volunteering with some of our faculty. So there's a lot of other alternatives to get involved in research outside of doing a thesis. Just to give a brief overview of our admission requirements, again, these can be found on our website, and the link is right there for you. But as a graduate program, you're required to have completed an undergraduate degree prior to your the start of your program in September.
Excuse me, Hila, we're stuck on the MSW at UBC Okanagan highlights slide.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm sorry.
Oh, there, now I see it, yes. Okay,
interesting.
Great.
Okay. And do you see that slide now?
Yes, we do, yes.
Okay, so there's some kind of a delay there.
Yeah.
So a brief overview of our admission requirements. And again, as I said, these are on our website. You need to have an undergraduate degree completed before you start our program in September. If you admitted into the advanced track, you need to have completed a BSW from a program that is accredited by CASWE or the CSWE from the States. And you also need to have completed a statistics course. You need a passing grade, so there is no minimal grade beyond a passing grade for the statistics course. If you're admitted to, or if you apply rather to the foundational 2-year track, you need to have completed an undergraduate degree in any other field outside of social work. And in addition to that, you also need to have completed a research method course and a statistics course. So there's 2 different course requirements as part of the admission requirements. And again, just a passing grade is required. GPA of a minimum of B+ or the equivalent of 76%. This is calculated based on your upper division courses, so 300 or 3000 level and up. You're required to submit 3 reference letters, a combination of professional and academic references, a resume or a CV, a statement of purpose. And again, you can go to the link on the slide and read about the questions that we ask you to answer in the statement of purpose. This is a critical component of your application. A criminal record check that you're required to complete after you receive an admission. Because of the cost involved, we don't expect applicants to complete the CRC, criminal record check, prior. And of course, English language proficiency, if English is not your first language. And I like to mention, because I know I've been asked a lot, there is no GRE required for being admitted to our program. So that's the information. Again, I want to invite you to review the student handbook and the field education handbook that we have readily available on our website. You can find those under student resources. And we also host virtual information sessions, a little bit like today, with more information and more opportunity to ask questions. So please visit our website to find out when the next information session is scheduled for. I believe we have one next week. And any question in between all of that, don't hesitate to email us. ask.socialwork@ubc.ca is the best way to reach us these days. Unfortunately, we're not on campus, so a phone number would not be the good way to reach us, but email is the best, and we try to prioritize any applicants with inquiries about our program. And final reminder, application deadline is January 10th, 2021 for September 2021 start. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening.
Great, thank you. We have about 5 minutes for a few questions, and we have some questions that students have posed. First question is, someone was wondering about housing options.
Okay. In terms of on campus or just generally?
I guess just different options. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are quite limited options on campus. I know that it's the UBC campus is prioritizing undergraduate students typically. So it's not impossible, but I wouldn't count on it as a graduate student in UBC Okanagan. But there's a lot of rental opportunities to live in the community. There is not a lot of walking distance places where students can be housed, but there are some, definitely. And that's something that if you want to learn more about, please send us an email, and we can send you to some websites and some additional ways that you can learn about housing in Kelowna.
That's great. The other question I have here is, hello, thanks. Can you talk a bit about faculty interests? And I'll just add my question too on top of that. You said faculty is diverse, they have different interests. Do your interests have to match exactly the faculty interest areas?
Right.
So two questions.
Yeah.
Talk about their interest areas and whether it kind of has to match exactly.
Yeah. So I think one of my slides talked about the 4 main domains that we have current extensive research on: child and youth, mental health, child welfare, homelessness, and disabilities. So we have at least 1 or 2 faculty members in each of these domains doing some really great current research in our community. And there's a lot of opportunities to get involved with that research. So I hope this answer, I don't know if people want me to sort of expand a little bit on the 4 topics.
Mike, was that a good enough answer for you? Did that answer your question? And I guess there's also, they can go on the website too, right?
Yeah, okay. And maybe one of the things that I would encourage you to do is on our website, there is the About tab, and under that you can look at the bios for each of our faculty. So you can really learn about each of them and their area of expertise and research.
Okay, and then the next question sort of ties into that. They're asking, do faculty and students work closely together? Will I have an opportunity to teach?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of sort of presentations by students in class, but to actually teach a course, that is quite limited. So if they're looking for like a TA sheet,
right.
That's an option that a student can explore outside of the School of Social Work. Because we only have a master's degree, typically to be a TA, you need to be teaching a degree that is below your degree, the degree that you're earning. So any master's level student will have to be a TA or teach an undergraduate social work, which we don't have an undergraduate social work program. But I know that some of our students have applied to be a TA for psychology courses, for example. That's their background, or sociology courses. So that's something that they can individually apply for, but it's not within our school.
Okay, great.
Hope that makes sense.
No, not completely. Yes. So thank you for that. And so I will start wrapping up. And I just wanted to remind students that to save the date, we have a personal statement workshop that Careerspace and Academic Skills is doing. And you heard that that's part of the part of your application process. What did I think you call it, a statement of purpose?
Statement of purpose.
So that's
Exactly.
the same sort of thing. We cover all of that in that workshop, and
Wonderful.
students will learn how to do a really good statement of purpose or intent. Um, the workshop is Tuesday, November 10th from 1 to 2. We will be posting it on the student experience portal in the events calendar where you'll have a chance to register for it. And also just letting students know that we are having a Trent specific graduate and professional schools expo, this kind of format, on November 13th from 9 till 4. And the same sort of thing, you'll be able to register on the student experience portal on the events calendar for November 13th. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your presentation, and I'd like to thank the students for attending, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.